Orlando Bravo, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Thank you for welcoming us to your native Puerto Rico, where it all began, so that we can take a deep dive into your philanthropic work. The devastation of Hurricane Maria accelerated the Bravo Family Foundation's formation in 2017. But I imagine this foundation is something you'd been thinking about for years. Can you tell us about the pre-traction period of the foundation when it was just a dream and a nascent vision?
Yeah, and Pedro, it's really nice that you came to Puerto Rico. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to all the entrepreneurs in the foundation, all the participants, that you can cover what we're doing here because we're putting so much effort into it. So when I saw you and I walked in, I was really happy that you were here in person. So thank you for taking the time to come all the way here. And look, the Bravo Family Foundation, and specifically its Puerto Rican efforts, did not start with a grand plan by me or by any of us that lead the foundation. It was a moment in time. What happened was when Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, I had just come back from a trip to Asia, to San Francisco when I used to live there. And I was seeing all these news reports of the first day, how governmental efforts could not get to certain towns because they were impossible to get to. And my brother befriended a reporter who mentioned to him, I remember the seminal moment, the reporter mentioned to him that there was in Lares, a town near where I grew up, near Mayagüez, pretty close to it, that there was a shelter with 35 people that had 2 days left of food and water in terms of supply. For me, that hit me really hard. It was a very emotional moment. And what I thought about was, I can do something about this.
Right.
Even if I help one person, even if I help one shelter, that's enough. I have to do this. It was a moment where I could do something about it. And it was even bigger than that. I've reflected a lot on this. And I've become a believer, and I'm a very positive person, that there are moments that come to every individual where it is up to them to do something about it.
Right.
And if they don't do something, nobody else will. And we started. Not knowing what to do. I had never been engaged in relief efforts and hurricane relief efforts. But we got there within a day with all these supplies of food and water. When we got to the airport, there were all these other towns looking for help. And there began our mission, which was first a humanitarian mission.
Right.
Now, in doing that, I want to add what I noticed in Puerto Rico. It allowed me to reconnect with many of my high school friends in person. But it allowed me to see a beautiful side of the island, which is a lot of smart people, a lot of hardworking people, and a lot of hope with lack of opportunity at the same time.
And so tell me more about those first years of the foundation. What did you learn about Puerto Rico? And how did these years and these lessons shape the foundation? And I would say it's current focused on young people.
So we worked on Hurricane Maria. And I'm going to give you an example. I was in the town of San Juan delivering relief goods, mainly food and water, what the town needed, with the mayor of San Juan and a lot of the local community leaders. And a young man came over to me and he said, I just had a baby. I got married 3 years ago. I'm a salesperson, had a great background, hardworking, and could not work.
Wow.
Because nothing worked. The infrastructure didn't work. Puerto Rico was down. And I said, that's just not right. That is absolutely not fair. Some of us are incredibly lucky and others are not.
Yeah.
And we kept going. And I said, where can we contribute long-term to Puerto Rico? And we said, entrepreneurship. We know something about that. I've been in the world of entrepreneurship for almost 30 years after Stanford, with all kinds of opportunities in one of the best places for entrepreneurship there have been. Before I moved to Miami, I was in San Francisco for almost 25 years doing what I do now. So what if we can take some of our principles, some of our people, some of our leaders, and combine this with the local talent and also local leadership? Can we provide opportunities for talented young adults for both personal and professional growth that otherwise is not there? So we started and we embarked on this, and we've been building program after program since then.
it just seems to me like such an entrepreneurial experience, this whole launch of the foundation. I mean, given the crisis that you're walking into, but that's what my takeaway is just listening to you speak. And as a private individual who is committed to the island's revitalization and economic health for the long term, can you tell us more about how private individuals and corporations can best create change together?
Look, you have to look at your core competencies. An individual, a corporation, a business can say, what am I really good at? Nobody's good at everything. What am I good at? And can I apply what I'm good at to philanthropy? Basically, take your approach to business and corporations and say, can I do this with a bigger social purpose and a longer term social purpose? And second is, what is most important to you as an individual or even as a company and an enterprise? What do you stand for?
Right.
What in your history has made you very passionate about certain things? And when you combine the two, I'm telling you, it is one of the greatest gifts that you can both give and give to yourself. It creates so much meaning.
Yeah. And from what you understand now, here in Puerto Rico, are there other pressing needs in the island that you think individuals and or corporations should be supporting?
All kinds of needs. Poverty, child poverty, education, healthcare, and access to it.
Yeah.
Environmental needs. And that's where, if you try to do it all as an individual or foundation, you'll get to none.
Yeah.
So, however, certain organizations and individuals have core competencies in each of these areas, and they can really focus on it. Our core competency, and what we've been trying to execute with now over 100 people that we have working with the Bravo Family Foundation, is opportunities for talented young adults that otherwise wouldn't have those opportunities. Rising entrepreneurs, which is what I'm here today for, with a lot of people from Thoma Bravo, a lot of CEOs from our companies, our team from the foundation. One program. Second, community leaders, exceptional community leaders. Think about it. Social leaders that are entrepreneurs with a social mission instead of entrepreneurs for business and for capital gains. That program, we help those leaders form youth programs that enable talented young adults to feel really good about where they're from, to develop tourism, to develop initiatives so these communities can be self-sustaining and actually grow instead of shrink and go away. And third, one of my favorite programs is EYES, Empowering Young Entrepreneurs, where we really help high school students, mainly of public schools, disadvantaged communities. We have them dream of how they can become an entrepreneur. And what I have seen from that is absolutely amazing. Getting a young individual to, I know learning math is important, and learning how to read and write, and learning basic skills. But if you think about learning and teaching entrepreneurship, the individual begins to dream about what is possible, about how important they are in the world. They get incredibly creative. And I feel that that's another just phenomenal program.
So the magnitude of your success has been extraordinary. And what is one piece of advice you would give to some of these emerging entrepreneurs, be them students or even well-established Latino entrepreneurs that have maybe goals like to hit the level of success you've seen in the next couple of years? What's one piece of advice? Well,
get lucky. and you and I also spoke about that in the podcast. To me, I really mean it. It's 90+% luck, right place at the right time, having the right mentors, listening to the right people. Of course, you have to keep your heart open, your eyes open, your ears open for those opportunities. But besides luck, step by step.
Pasito a pasito.
Pasito a pasito. And you and I just talked about that and remembering our podcast. Every single day, no matter what stage in your career you're in, what do you want to accomplish that day, and be extremely detailed-oriented and disciplined. I actually was like that as a little kid, and my mom helped me be that way. She put that sense of discipline and structure in my life. But now I do the same. I wake up, and it's like, let's go.
Yeah.
And what are we going to do today to make a real difference at Thoma Bravo and our companies and at the foundation? And always try really hard, and it takes time, to think big. Because we are Latinos doesn't necessarily mean that our businesses need to be focused only on the towns we're from or only on the place we're from.
Right.
Think bigger than that,
Right.
and that'll enable you to compete. You can compete in a much broader market and economy.
So what's the next step, the next pasito for the Bravo Family Foundation?
Oh boy, we have a really key one. And I can tell you in each program that we have. On the Rising Entrepreneur program is we now have a proven method and how many of those small companies and entrepreneurs can take it to the next level and raise real venture capital to have a much bigger runway to build their businesses. Awesome. That is number one. On the Community Leaders program, can they begin to bring kind of volunteer tourism into those communities to really inspire those young people and show that these programs are working and those young people are getting access and they have jobs and they stand for something and that their communities are important. And for the empowering young entrepreneurs is how many of those kids can start pursuing bigger dreams, and we're measuring it, than the current path that they would otherwise be in.
And for Orlando Bravo?
Oh, we're going to keep growing Thoma Bravo. We've done a lot of things over the last 25 years, and I always tell our team, we're only just getting started. And it's the same as philanthropy because we depend on these amazing young people that are going to be the future leaders of the firm. We already have many of them, and they're going to do things a lot better than we are, just with the same philosophy and set of values.
I love that. Pasito a pasito. Orlando Bravo, great seeing you again.
Thank you so much. Great seeing you too.